So we got a nice small, well actually it's not that small, it's actually long. It's just a little bit more on the longer side, 26 by 45 metal building that we're about to tour. Welcome back, Pack. This is Admiel from WolfSteel Buildings, and we're out here with Jared. And where are we at? This is Boyd, Texas. Boyd, Texas, a little bit north of Fort Worth, and it's still cold. We were just out in Ennis. We're now in Boyd, Texas, and now a little bit closer to home, but it's a little cold still. How you feeling?
Still freezing. Still freezing.
So we got a nice small, well actually it's not that small, it's actually long. It's just a little bit more on the longer side, 26 by 45 metal building that we're about to tour. So you don't want to miss out. There's a wainscoting, there's drainage, there's gutters, there's this nice overhead door, a lean-to. So you don't want to miss out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And let's get this one going. Alrighty, Pack. We're about to tour this 26 by 45 long, and it's 15 foot tall to the eaves. Now, before we start talking about the measurements, I want to talk about the site prep, okay? So here our client has a driveway. Where I'm standing is basically and let's go this way. Let's go a little bit this way. The finished floor that you're seeing on the metal building is the finished floor. It's pretty close to the finished floor of the driveway that's coming up to our client's home. And so you can see on the side how much fill we had to bring in, okay? And especially in the community like here, where there's not a lot of access and there's really only an access through, through the driveway. Something to really keep in mind when you're about to build, doing the foundation, is that we need to have some sort of access to get the dirt over here and also the concrete. So here we definitely needed a pump to be able to access and get the concrete back here, okay? And another thing is we brought in a lot of select fill. So here in Dallas-Fort Worth, we actually use select fill we compact the ground very well with the select fill, and then we set the foundation on top. And that's like, it's like a clayish material that is extremely common in this area to be able to set foundations on. The one thing I want to emphasize on is that you will need to do some sort of landscaping afterwards, or install like some sort of sod or something like that to help minimize any erosion on your foundation. And here our client did some amazing job, and I'm about to show you guys, so come on out. So here you can see that he installed some drain pipes on all the downspouts that and connected them and basically getting the water away. And that's the beauty of having gutters and downspouts, because you can control it. If you didn't have the gutters and downspout, you would have seen this whole side of the foundation, basically a trench from all the water that's falling from the roof. But here, he's got the control because all the water is falling on the downspout, and then from there he's directing it away from his foundation, from his select fill. And the best way to minimize, drainage or erosion is really to let the grass grow. So it can actually grow on the select fill, but it'll take a little bit longer. If you do have the budget for it, something to really plan for is to plant some grass. It's hard here in Texas, or set up some sod, which our client already did around his home. You can see on this side. Another thing to keep in mind when you're doing a red iron weld up project like the one we have here is that it's called a weld up. So what does that mean? We're welding up from the foundation up. So the plates, or how we're welding and connecting, is from the concrete. We need to set embedded when we pour the concrete plates, okay? And that's what we did here. So if you can see here, is that we have the plates that were already embedded, and from there, this I-beam, we already welded it and went up from there. Okay, so if you're getting your own concrete, that's something that you have to, make sure that your concrete guy sets the weld plates correctly. and also that they are able to actually go and get the weld plates and set them. Now, in our case, with us, with WolfSteel Buildings, since we do the concrete, we handle that. But we've had situations where clients want to do their own concrete. It's totally fine. You know, I just want to make sure that you guys know that you have to embed all the plates where they're necessary, but we tell you where. So we actually have a weld floor plan, and that's where it will let your team know, or your concrete team know, hey, this is where the plates go. These are the plates that need to be bought and procured to be able to have them ready and embedded. By the time we arrive, we can start building. We just start welding and going from there. Alrighty, Pac, now let's get into the exciting part, which is the metal building. Well, that's what I love, right? And this is a really, really nice color combination. We have the ash gray with the burnished slate. So ash gray is what you're seeing on the main walls. Then the burnished slate as the wainscoting, and all the trim around is all the burnished slate color. So hopefully the B-rolls of all the drone footage is showing you. Again, this is a really, we don't get it common, but when we do get it, it really stands out. Especially when we were driving up here, you could really see how this color combination stands out really well. Now, as I mentioned, this is a 26 by 45, okay? However, we got 10 foot of an extension, okay? And this is the gable extension. We call them gable extension. So if you're looking to do something like this, this is what we call a gable extension. It's just an extension to the gable, and it's basically like a little carport with enclosed main section, okay? Now, one of the beauties that I love about red iron, this is a red iron weld up, is that the spaces between each column is usually 20 feet, okay? That's like our standard. You know, you can do 25, you can do 30. 25 and 30, we usually try to do those when there's red iron bolt ups. But for weld ups, which this is what we have here, it's usually 20. And the beauty of that is, especially when you do a gable extension. In a tubular, we would have to build a header, we would have to do a lot of structural changes. Here, it's just a free space. There's no obstacle to walk over. It's one of the beauties that I love about red iron buildings, is that the most of the weight is carried onto columns that are spaced out in 20 foot. So that's the beauty, and this is what a nice little gable extension to have in front of your door. Yeah, so what we have here is a 14 by 14 overhead door. This is the long panel raised, the raised long panel marketing. Please fact check me, check that the order and make sure. I know from the story of our client that originally he had a 14 by 14 roll-up door, and so we have 15 foot in the eaves. We realized that, hey, you know, we actually need about 24 inches to 26 inches. Fact check me, Jared. I know you're really good at this. What's the clearance that we need for a roll-up door on a 14 by 14?
Let's do 24 inches.
So that's the reason why it wasn't gonna fit. So we said, you know what? We're gonna need to do a overhead door, and we made that happen with our client here. Now, as you know, all our red irons, whether bolt up or weld ups, we use only PBR panel at this point. It's PBR panel, 40-year paint warranty. So it's the best that you can get. It's gonna come with our red iron products, as well as our windows. The only window we offer is definitely a double pane window, which is insulated. A lot more sturdier windows than a single pane standard window. So just something to keep in mind here when you're looking at a red iron project like this one. You're getting the best of the best. Definitely standard base trim comes standard in our projects. Color matching screws, standard, no questions. Another thing that we also do, as I was mentioning, the benefits of the gutters and downspouts. The whole trim around the eaves is, the gutters act as a trim as well. So it's not just the use of the gutters, but it's also part of the whole package where it makes and completes the project. That's why we do require gutters and downspouts on our red iron projects. It's just standard. We don't allow to take it off, just because, again, it's part of the whole look and aesthetic of the trim system. Now, this is our standard steel door. So again, this is going to be an insulated door. This is a steel skin, insulated in the inside, 36 by 84 I'm not mistaken. This is our standard steel door. Now, if you wanted your own door, you want to have something custom, something that you like, that maybe matches your home, you can definitely get your door and we can install it. And again, it's always important to have it prior for us to arriving. That way we make sure that we frame it out correctly and we install it correctly. Okay. Now, I want to let you guys know, we've had situations where clients have someone else come and install door or windows afterwards. It's good and it's not good. It's good if we get the specific measurement of exactly how to do that frame out, okay? And then sometimes it's not good because sometimes the door, the type of flashing or the type of jam that it has, it's better to install it before the sheet metal, because the sheet metal is actually supposed to be over any type of flashing or jam that you're specifically for windows, that your windows might need. So just something to keep in mind and really plan out if you're trying to get someone else to come and install certain things for you on a metal building. Just something to keep in mind. So now here on this side, guys, we actually have a nice little lean-to. This is gonna be an 8 wide, 16 foot long, which is something you can definitely do. That's whether you do a tubular or red iron project. You can actually get it the full length of a lean-to. You can get it this, you can position it in any way. And you can see here that our client still has a gap over there about like 4 feet from the end wall. And so he made it 16 foot long, but it's only a certain section of the project. And that was something that we were able to make happen here on this project. And it's something that we can definitely do. So just something to keep in mind. Your lean-tos, and especially in a weld-up project, there's a lot of flexibility on making a lot of modifications and custom building it the way you want it. So that's what I love about weld-ups. What do you think, Jared?
I think it's definitely a good option. Whereas in a tubular, you got to make sure your main centers line up with the lean-tos. So odd sizes or weird measurements can incur additional cost, and with the red iron, it really doesn't.
Yeah, and the reason what Jared's mentioning is on our tubular buildings, we got columns every 5 foot, and they're bearing wall columns. So we can't really modify from there, and whenever we attach, we got to attach to something really strong. And in our weld-ups, the columns are every 20 feet, so that spacing allows us to custom design and custom put certain frame members. And so due to just our privacy of our client, I'm not able to show the inside, but marketing helped me on the framing plans that we have and see how we actually made this happen. We set up a certain columns to be able to make this happen and attach to it and really maintain the structural integrity of this project. So on this side, our client does have a nice roll-up door. So it's a nice 10 by 8 roll-up door. Again, the latch on this one is actually on the inside. Our client did request that specifically. And then we are now offering our brush seals on our doors. So remember, these roll-up doors do have all this corrugation, okay? So there are always gonna be lighting that comes in. So here, these helps for minimizing the lighting as well as minimizing any air entry, okay? So that's exactly what the beauty of having a brush seal. Something that we are now offering. Dude, I love it. I love it, man. It's just a big difference in our roll-up doors now. Alrighty, Peck, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a really nice, like my girlfriend would say, a nice, cute little, a nice, cute building. I really like it. It's unique and it's just really nice and well set up. Now, one thing that I want to talk about before we go, and it's something that I want to make aware and let our audience know, or at least our clients or anybody who's interested in a metal building. So especially when you do a big tubular project that needs equipment, or a red iron project, all of them need equipment. All our red iron projects need equipment. And what am I talking about? We're talking about a SkyTrack, okay? We do scissor lifts, but that's not really the topic. We're talking about telehandlers, SkyTracks that we need to be able to set up the columns, the trusses, and work to be able to build a project. And when we need that, we usually will have to drive around or work around your project or around your foundation, okay? So what am I talking about? Right now with the rainy season, we're definitely gonna be leaving a lot of ruts, a lot of marks, a lot of that. So, You know, when you see the regrading line on the, you know, on your quote, the regrading, what that really means is once the project is complete, we come back. So we come back, we make the time to come back, bring a skid steer, and we start compacting again all around, very nice. So that way we don't leave any ruts, we fill in any holes, we fill in any tire marks, all that kind of stuff, we re-compact around, okay? That's what the regrading is, and if that's the line item, that's what it means, because again, once we come here with the equipment, there's just no other way, especially like in this type of property, there would be, we're very limited with space, so as much as anything, we would have to be using equipment to be able to, you know, build this project. Alrighty, Pack, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok. Well, if the government keeps it alive, I keep saying that because we're still pending there, but we're still posting stuff, Facebook and Instagram. And aside from that, guys, stay tuned. We got a lot of cool projects, right, Jared?
We got a couple coming up.
We got a couple coming up, so you don't want to miss out on those. We'll see you guys in the next video.